You, Mandar. A very good morning to one and all. So I'm going to be talking about a new innovative lens design, the CMT Flex IOL, for the treatment for aphakia. So I have no financial interest in the product of the presentation. So I'm just going to run through a small video of a 360-degree subluxated lens, which was planned for a lensectomy with a secondary IOL fixation. As you know, all innovations come with the question why, and that's how my innovation started 2 years back. So already we had all the speakers go through all the techniques. We had the sutured SFIOL techniques for more than 2 decades now. And then came the glued IOL technique, which is modified from Chariot's technique, tucking it into the haptics. And then you had the XNIC technique by the Arvind Group, and Prabhu showed how they externalized the haptic and the usage of the stopper. And then the Yamane's technique and various modifications. But these were all using the existing 3-piece IOL, the different techniques that were performed. So I thought, why not come up with a new lens design for such types of aphakic patients or secondary IOL implantation? As all of you have already mentioned that for any secondary IOL fixation, the most important steps is a 0-180 degree marking, because that helps in the stability and fixation of the lens. So here again, we are making a 2 by 2.5 scleral flaps on either side, and then 1.5 millimeters away from the limbus, a 23 gauge sclerostomy is made on either sides. So now here in this particular case, I'm just using the same sclerostomy to puncture into the nucleus and making sure I don't drop it inside, and using the cutter through the other 23 gauge sclerostomy which is available. So doing a little bit of vitrectomy behind the lens and then puncturing into the lens, and then doing a lensectomy with a combination of aspiration and cutting. As you can see, this being a relatively soft nucleus, it's not much difficult. But as we are surgeons, we all know how the scenario changes if it goes inside. So I was just making sure I don't drop it inside. I can finish it in the anterior approach itself. So everything went on well. So this is the new CMT Flex design, a single piece hydrophilic lens, which has got a specialized T-shaped haptics. So that is the trademark of this lens design. So these T haptics, when it comes out of the sclerostomy, opens up and prevents the lens from going back inside. So that will be a simpler surgery to avoid the tucking or usage of any sutures. As you can see, it goes through a clear corneal incision, and when you're injecting the lens, the T-shaped haptics come out first. So it is gently the head or the neck can be grasped, but at this time we are not pulling away the lens, because it can cause it to detach it from this thing or any breakage. So we're just injecting the entire lens, and we can keep the trailing haptic at the wound or even over the iris. So once that is done, you can see we are slowly removing the T-shaped haptics. You can see there'll be a pop sound when it comes and it opens up, and then you just have to leave it. So this specially designed haptics is what prevents it from falling back inside. So this is a small animation clip. One more trick is when you load the lens, make sure that the T junction is there in the center so that it comes out first. Like in even glued IOL, you want the haptics to come out first so that it's easy to grasp. So it can be injected with any IOL cartridge and grasp the head, which is very ideal, and then pull it out of the 23 gauge sclerostomy. And you can see once it comes out, it just opens up and it stays like that. For the second haptic, the same handshake technique is used using the Nishi grasping forces, which is serrated forceps, because these are hydrophilic lenses. And you can see the second haptic is being transferred. And the second haptic is also gently just brought out of the sclerostomy. So this is practically the end of the surgery, as there's no suture. I already said, you can always check for the integrity of the lens. These are always well centered because it's got a large optic size. So once the surgery is over, you can use the glue, or you don't have to. You can even suture or leave the flaps right now, and that will be practically the end of the surgery. So we have almost a year and a half follow-up of these patients. These are the immediate one-day post-op pictures showing a few edema. And this is the 1 month post-op pictures. You can see round pupils. And we're also doing the study on UBM to see how the position of the lens and how it sits compared to the other SFIOLs. And also OCTs through the sclera to see how the material behaves under the sclera in long-term follow-ups. So we have this is very easy method and a lens that can be used, and these are some of the publications in our local journals. And very happy that recently in JCRS it has been accepted as an innovative design for aphakia and post-cataract surgeries. So we have also done it in a lot of traumatic patients where the iris is not there. So this is one of the cases, which a post-traumatic eye which came to us for a secondary IOL. I have only the pictures you can see. So we had to do the CMT Flex IOL, and also because of the superior iris defect, we did an SFT also, and then the patient is doing well. So they can be used as an initial procedure or as a secondary procedure, also as a planned surgery also. So this was another case of a traumatic aphakia with secondary glaucoma, long-standing and not controlled with medical management. So we had planned for a combined trab surgery with an T-flex IOL. So basically what I'm trying to say is where all you can use your secondary IOLs or the glued IOLs, the same indications can be used for this also. So there's actually a glaucoma surgeon who did the superior trab, and once he fashioned the flap and mitomycin C, not going to the details of the flap. Yeah. So once the trap was done superiorly, these are the Nishi grasping forceps that I was talking to you about. You can see the serrations. So these serrations helps in better grip of the IOL, so that it does not bite into the lens when we are exchanging the IOL. And these are the Pranav forceps, T-flex forceps. As you can see, only the tip is broad. So this helps in easily grasping only the head, or the other VR forceps sometimes because of the sharp edge can bite into the lens. So these are some of the two specially designed forceps also that come. As I've already mentioned about the loading and the lens, I think you can use any IOL cartridge. And the other part is it's a totally single piece and a hydrophilic design, so it's forgiving. So when you do the handshake technique and any maneuver inside the eye, it does not cause any tissue damage. As you can see here, the slight modification is because we had the trap superiorly. This method is easy because you go head on, so you don't have that angle to catch it. So you're injecting the lens, and through the other side, you grasping the T, and then after the lens is injected, you can see you just gently have to bring it out, and then it comes out very easily through the sclerostomy. And now you can see the other side again transferred, catching the head on. That is the most ideal thing if you can catch it head on, and then bring it out. But here you can see we have another problem. We have the Sommering ring, or the residual of the cortex that is there in this case. So I didn't want to leave it behind since we already done a good trick. So just bringing it into the anterior chamber and using the IOL scaffold technique here. So keeping the T-flex as a scaffold here. Sometimes these are very difficult to remove, so I prefer to do the phaco to remove these pieces because it's relatively harder than how it seems to look like. So you can see the nucleus piece, the Sommering rings being removed. So once it's done, because it was a long-standing case, you just had to release some adhesions of the iris. So that is what is causing the distortion of the pupil and not the lens or anything. So we just release some of the synechiae in the periphery. So once that was done, you can see the surgical PI that is there, a round, well-centered pupil, and the patient is doing really well post-operatively. So at the end of the surgery, we are just gluing the scleral and the conjunctival flaps, letting some air bubble because the trap was done superiorly. So this was immediate day 1 week picture. You can see a good filtering bleb, and then you can also see a well-centered clear cornea, and it is situated in such an angle that even when you have good dilatation, it does not rub against the iris. Just happy to share that this particular video was my fellow, and we have also got selected as the top videos for ASCRS at the coming ASCRS that is happening. Thank you once again to everybody, and special thanks to Mandar for including me in this special IC. Thank you. It was great.